Right, and let's get into this pistol round. Here's the thing, Josh. You say 2-0 Izako Boars, I say 2-0 NaVi Junior. Having seen Izako Boars now having to rely on... Oh no, it is Mono who's falling. Mono, he's now out the server.
What on earth?
I said
Why
everything
are
I
they
was about
playing
to
with
say.
Hyper then, if Mono was here?
Well, we've now got a very heavy use of life from NaVi Junior, to say the least. I believe they went into this with 3 smokes, 3 nades, and 3 flashes, and a kit on Ankara, so really a heavy buy, but that enables a bit of dirty damage to get things underway. There's Stomp to shut down an easy, and as a follow-up bit of damage goes left, right, and centre. With Stomp falling, Porgalov is going to try and continue this tyranny of the A site, and eventually sure you'll finish the job, but in an even 3-on-3, Shane comes out on top, down to Cynex and Ankara. Sure, they've got that kit to work with, but it would be nice if they're able to get the first couple of kills before they are thrown into this retake.
Well, the man advantage here for the Izako Boars is they've got this bomb down, and Onkara and Sinks now need to somehow come back into this one. As Cynex drops, Onkara being tapped up from behind. The headshot didn't quite connect, but Shui will be able to. The Izako Boars, they take it 1-0. And yeah, good pistol round from them. Fairly solid stuff going into this first round. They can come into the second with a hefty buy as well after keeping a couple of players alive and actually getting that bomb down. On the other side of things, NaVi Junior, of course, it will be a force buy. Some Deagles come out, a scout on Munzie. Nothing too substantial, but we do know how powerful some of these players are with those pistols in hand. Let's see what they can do with them. A Stomp Scout. Oh, shoots Munzie right through the wall.
Well, with Munzie falling, there's a man advantage for Izako Boars, and of course you need to bear in mind as well that for Izako Boars, this is a very comfortable veto for them. They're going to be more than happy to play either of these maps as a starter. I believe they picked Dust 2 though, so right now for them, this is their comfort pick. The fact that trains their next one is something they're going to be kind of menacingly rubbing their hands together in glee, knowing that they've got train to fall back on. And for NaVi Junior, it's going to be a matter of saving these couple of upgraded pistols, the odd scout as well, just so they can take it into what would be their eco next round, just so that even their eco bears a bit of teeth. As Izako Boars, they lead 2-0, they move forward with all 5 members left standing.
Yeah, this has been really good for Izako Boars. Having this bomb down as well. No one here from NaVi Junior in a position where they can catch anybody out or even justify hunting for them at all. They're going to save these weapons. Means that they'll have a little bit of a force buy in the next instead of just that full eco that we would have seen otherwise. But Izako Boars, having a couple of Mat 10s behind them, having these AKs behind them, being able to just save with 5 players is fantastic. Those Mat 10s, they'll be able to farm some cash against the eco next round, and the AKs will be more than happy to stay alive.
More importantly as well, the back 10s, as you mentioned, are going to love this round. It's going to be a completely different. So it won't be a farm, it'll be a slaughter, Josh. And, well, that early kill from some straight onto Munzie. Beautiful opening, and here, of course, we got those back 10s just looking to finish the job. And they don't have to do anything flashy. It's just a matter of holding mouse 1 and aiming in the right place. As we see NaVi Junior move to this eco. Sure, the upgraded pistols will help them, but help them to what avail? I think they can help them do damage. It's certainly not going to help them in this round because we've got Stomp scoped in early on, looking to go for the initial pick. Still hasn't seen anything for the time being, though, as Munzie hits his opening shot, and suddenly this looks a bit scary for Izako Boars, to say the least.
It absolutely does, yep. As we see, Munzie, firing away. Can't quite hit Shane there. In fact, he does hit him, but can't quite finish him. Not the start that the Izako Boars had last round. Not the start that they're hoping to have here. As they've lost a man, they've taken early damage. They've dealt a little bit. But now they need to get up long.
What are they doing with this lull? We have NaVi Junior just holding firm and playing the range game, really. They want to have a just scout duel, and as they both peek out and spot one another, Izako Boars, being a man down, have to make up for the damage done to them. And, well, for NaVi Junior, a lot of them have taken damage here. Porgalov, Munzie, over towards Izako Boars, Stomp and Shane to try and hold firm. Through the smoke, though, that's a nice shot to Hyper, and with even more damage done to Izako Boars, these Deagles become really, really scary now. There's no kits, which means that after plant hold for Izako Boars is a very real possibility. However, the fact that these pistols are going to try and exit and kill every single one of them shows that they, well, at least on NaVi Junior, aren't messing around.
They're absolutely not. With 30 seconds left and a retake coming in, they could pull this off, to be honest. With Onkra finding himself one more, this becomes very, very doable. The two-man advantage, make it 3. Stomp's able to find one back. The issue is the lack of time. They've got on this bomb with what I think is a fraction of a second to spare. And if anyone can deny it, then that's it. The defuse, it's still coming through. It comes through just at the nick of time. And NaVi Jr. pull off what is in effect an eco. And I'm not really sure what the Izako Boars are doing there. They've planted it safe, and then they've gone and sat long. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Look at that shot from Munzi, though. I didn't even realize he got that no-scope through the smoke.
Really bad play from Izako Bulls there. They're punished pretty heavily, and well, because of that, we see him eco by the NaVi Junior. And well, NaVi Junior, they're not going to be complaining about that at all. They'll be more than happy that they'll be able to capitalize and find this round. However, Stomp early on, showing down Cynix. There's that opening pick. And for NaVi Junior, they've got to now make up for that disadvantage. They do so with a boost over to a short, but little do they know, Izako Bulls, they've gone for the long control instead. As they get this control pretty quickly, NaVi Junior, once again, left scratching their heads. Brief lull. Hyper again, just leaving from long. Bomb in hand, he's waiting to see just what NaVi Junior are able to go for. And with NaVi Junior, again, just fanned out around the map. They know full well that Izako Bulls aren't going to be able to do much here. They know full well that Izako Bulls will go for this execution. They've not going to be able to have much of a flank either, because they've just had a very lack of presence towards B. Well, these smokes go down towards CT though. That should spur them forward. And for NaVi Junior, this is really where they have to test their mettle. A man down already. The main man to watch out for will be Munzi now. Orb in hand. He's the one who can really stop this attack, and well, he attempts to do so. Let's see if this big green stick works for him. The smoke goes down though, as Izako Bulls make the way towards the site with just 30 seconds left. It's Munzi to be caught out by Shui. Trade there by Porgalov, which helps to say the least, but it helps, but it won't stop them. And as he spots out some other members, Hyper finishes the job. And for Encore and Fear, they might just have to save once again, Josh.
That might just be the case, yeah. This is not looking great for the NaVi Junior side, of course, after losing that buy round. They were in a position, quite a powerful position a few moments ago, having won what was effectively an eco. I thought that was going to be their turning point, their opportunity to come back into this. But it seems like as soon as the Izako Boars pulled out the kind of premium weapons, NaVi Junior just stumbled. They're good with scouts, they're good with Desert Eagles when they're against a similar kind of buy, but as soon as something more substantial comes out, apparently they just seem to struggle a little.
Tell you what, Josh, well, worry for NaVi Junior at the moment is that the round they won, that wasn't them winning, was it? That was Izako Bulls making a mistake. And frankly, if they continue this rhythm, we'll see Izako Bulls try and establish a really early lead, and because they are so successful on train as well, any lead that the Bulls establish is just going to carry over to the next map as well. Any momentum is going to carry straight over, and it means that for NaVi Junior, they seriously need to get their act together, and they need to make sure that they're pressuring Izako Bulls for every single inch of ground they take. But how can they do so? They go for the best buy they can muster, but unfortunately for Porgalov, it's just an MP9. Unfortunately for Science, it's just a fan mass. Shui, aggressive towards B, shuts down the first member. Tao there to assist. The site swings open. Just like that, Josh, it's going to be a quick B execution, in which Izako Bulls make it 4-1. Of course, B site on Dust 2, notoriously the hardest site on the game to retake. Because of that, we see NaVi Junior just congregate towards the top of long, where they'll look to delve into pits and cling to their weapons.
Well, once again, the Izako Boars just in such a comfortable position here, to the point where even Stomp is hunting quite hard in the T-spawn, waiting for somebody to try and rotate. By him being here, what this does confirm is that no one's going for this. He would have seen them cross mid, he would have seen them come up short, he would have seen them come out long. So having all of this information, that's the power that you kind of have on this T side of Dust 2. He can confirm to his teammates, right, get out the site, we've won the round, they're not going for this. And NaVi Junior, whilst they're able to save a few rifles, they're going to have a buy in the next. What does that really mean? They haven't been able to do anything with the buys in the last 2 rounds now.
That opening from Shu was absolutely perfect as well. Just running AK bullets straight to the skull of his opponent to, again, just swing open that beast sight. And, of course, the issue with that beast sight, once it has fallen, the fact it's so hard to retake, it's actually a fairly decent read to, and a fairly decent idea to save it, even in situations where it's 5v5. We've got Hyper pushing forward on long. He's ready to be flashed forward. Instead, he plays anti, waits for Golov, shuts him down. Hyper getting that initial kill means that for NaVi Junior, they're going to have to try and make up for this. But with Fear being tagged down to just a measly 6 HP, he's got to hightail it out of there with Benezi covering him to make sure that at least his teammate survives. At least one of his teammates survive in this initial engagement. Now, Force of 1 Izako Boars are starting to get a bit bolder now. And they do so with what should be a, I assume at least, a bit of support over towards NaVi Junior.
Oh, I've muted myself again, Kramer.
Honestly,
Izako
that was
Boars,
a very
they've got a man
long pause there,
advantage.
Josh.
Yeah, got a man advantage, and this is just a bit of a half-buy from NaVi Junior anyway, so they're not too worried about this. Of course, they're just trying to get a few kills, save some money for the next round. If they can win it, then fantastic, but they're not fully invested into this. They're looking to just save $2,000, come into the next with their heads held high. They are running down this clock, though, with 30 seconds left. Izako Boars really do need to get a move on.
Well, it's the opening with Benezi falling. Cynix now the only defender of this site. It's the Eagle. While it had good intentions, unfortunately the actions do not allow it to follow through with them. It's all down to Onkara. He's picked up an AK, which he'll look to go save as he backs away towards lower. But for Izako Boars at what will be 5-1, this is the perfect start for them. Again, bear in mind, he's side of Dust 2. How many rounds do you want, Josh? What, 7? Maybe 8? Izako Boars, they're on a perfect path to go hit that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the power of taking early rounds. That's what I always say, especially like on Dust 2, it's not as big a factor, but it's definitely something to look at when you're sitting 5-1 up. But I always say when you're on Nuke, when you're on Train, you're on that T side, your benchmark you're looking for is normally about 6. And if you can take the pistol and then obviously win the follow-ups off of that pistol, then you're already halfway there. Yeah, you get 3 rounds up and that's it. You're halfway there. Your task becomes twice as easy. Izako Boars right now, as you say, taking 5 early. If they can topple this next buy round, then they'll be on to 6, and they'll be up against the NaVi Junior side with, once again, no money. They'll have the max loss bonus, but $3,400 isn't enough to buy up on that CT side. And yeah, we will, of course, see Izako Boars more than likely push it to 7 off of that.
Well, let's see if they can find this round as a starter. They give that sway towards B. Bit of a fake, actually, to get things underway. And a silent side towards a close angle. He knows full well that it could be a presence to fight him, but for Fear, he's ready for the players in CT. So he rotates back around. Little does he know, though, he's actually about to duel 4 members. As Izako Boars get ready for this initial attack. Forward they go. Fear looking to make his way through the smoke. He's hit by the molly in the smoke, though, which means he can't quite go through. Shuri shuts down Cynix elsewhere. Onkara backslide. Molly forces him forward. Molly forces him out as well. It's a back and forth affair, in which we're left in a 3-on-3, which, from the looks of it, is going to leave the bomb outside this B's site. Because of it, Shane, he's got to run the gauntlet. He's got to go for that hero play. He's able to make it work, though. Plant goes down, and with Tao legged down, he'll attempt to survive off the back of this, and more importantly, he'll attempt to capitalise with NaVi Junior, this time looking like they might actually go for this retake.
Oh, maybe not.
Or not.
No, they back out of it. I think if they knew how low Teo was and how low Shane was, maybe they would. With no utility, though, and there's no kits. That's why they haven't gone for it. Like, there's no kits, there's no armor on Munzi. You look at it at face value and you say, oh, wow, 3v3, like, HP advantage. They should have gone for this, but then you kind of read into it deeper. Yeah, no kits, no helmets, no money on Munzi, no chance.
Yep, you're absolutely right, and it means that for the players over towards NaVi Junior, as they move into their reinvestment, they'll attempt to find something that could possibly work against the Izako Boars here. I'll tell you what, Josh, they're in a tough spot right now. as we'll say, NaVi Junior in a tough spot right now, because of course with this lack of control towards long, they have to do so with Sinus and Onkara with a couple of Eagles here or there. The odd bit of Utah is not a pretty sight, and well, the Izako Boars, they're going to capitalise off that even more so. Oh.
That's a huge shot. This is what I've been saying earlier as well. You really can't count NaVi Junior out when they've got Deagles in hand. I'm surprised they haven't been able to do more damage with Deagles previously. But with a buy like this, where they've got a couple of Desert Eagles, a couple of rifles, those Desert Eagles can have just as much impact. As we see the spray down towards long, Poglarov is able to tap down Shui. And now we find ourselves in a 5 versus 3. Teo and Hyper low on health, and Poglarov eventually falls, but Fear's there to double down. They weren't expecting the secondary man in pit, and Fear's able to find all 3.
That's a really messy hit towards long. I won't lie, Josh. Izako Boars are doing 3 mollies just to clear the top part of it. They're punished anyway from it. But NaVi Junior is a well-deserved second round as they completely shut down Izako Boars. It wasn't so much... Here's the thing, though. When NaVi Junior, they're winning rounds off Izako Boars playing badly, not off of them playing well. And for Izako Boars, how many bones are they going to throw to NaVi Junior in this round? Or in this game, sorry. Because, frankly, I can't see it being many.
Yeah, I mean, Izako Boars definitely in the driver's seat right now. That was their chance to push themselves onto 7. I did say, had they have won round number 7, then they would almost certainly be able to get onto 7 rounds. But I didn't really account for the fact that NaVi Junior were going to save 3 rifles. So they did actually have a substantial buy going into that follow-up. This round, though, without these early picks coming in for NaVi Junior, Izako Boars looking a lot more comfortable once again. I think as soon as Izako Boars kind of give up those early firefights, that's where they seem to struggle. But as soon as they put their foot on the gas from the get-go, they seem to just be much better. And now, look at that. Beautiful one-tap from Shui. And as they pressure into this B site, Cynix is all by himself, and he'll fall 1 for 1.
He doesn't even do too much damage to Shane, which means that saving should be a very hard task for Munzi. Now flicks up, Hyper shuts him down. It's all on the Poglarov, and in a 1 versus 4, what on earth can he hope to do, Josh? I imagine not much from here. He might try an angle to save the AWP, but that's not bloody happening. As he sits down towards long, instead, Izako Boars, they lead 7-2, as they look to make this as one-sided a map as possible.
That's Hyper's job right now as well. Hyper's job isn't to press forward and try and kill Poglarov. If he wants to save an M4, he can have it. It really doesn't matter. They're going to have M4s in the next anyway. It's to try and stop him from retrieving this AWP. Now, the thing is when you look at the fact that... In fact, they've actually taken the AWP for themselves as well. Stomp's picked it up. But when you look at the fact that NaVi Junior, in round number 7, they were already saving money for the follow-up and then ended up winning it. They do have quite a big bank behind them. We do see everybody besides Cynix on a fair amount of cash. And that means that Munzi will be able to pull out that AWP. We do see a FAMAS on Poglarov and Cynix. I don't think we needed to see one on Poglarov there. He could have bought himself an M4. Either way, a double sniper setup here for NaVi Junior. I think that's maybe where the money's gone, why there's a little bit of lack of cash in a couple of these guys. But it shouldn't cause them too many issues. The FAMAS still a powerful weapon.
You're absolutely right. And Stomp, seriously a powerful adversary. As it looks to hard clear anyone who dare cross on B. Izako Boars look like they want to hit towards B. I'd say what's interesting, Josh, is usually when we cast teams, they are almost scared of hitting the B site because it is a very tough spot to break into. But these guys, Izako Boars, they don't care. They're consistently pushing towards B, and what's scary and what's incredible about it, Josh, is that it works. We see a swift short control get established, and they push their way forward a bit further. They're not quite going to peek into Munzi, but they at least have that control. You know, some swift's that go down as well, just to ease them forward, but it's all in the under the name of harassment.
Well, Ankara jumping over right now. Oh, that is a fast flick onto Shane. I love that kind of style of AWPing. You're jumping above a smoke, and then as soon as you see something, you flick into it. Takes a lot of skill when Ankara, he harnesses it. Of course, Izako Boars stacked up towards short. They're going to go for this execution as the smoke goes down. It gives them safe passage onto the site. And no one's actually on the site defending. NaVi Junior holding it from long and Carl. This could be difficult for them.
Well, Munzi get to the first man, scoped in, ready for the second, and while he's taking his time with this attack, that strategy will be Tao, who's able to dodge that little AWP shot instead from backside. The spam down Munzi, there's the kill, and now in a 4-on-3, this is very doable for Izako Boars. And if they win this, of course, they win the half. The question now is to what extent if they win this half, or if they win this round, sorry. And for Pogolorov, going for timing over towards long. And 4 in hand, and Tao, he might even be flashed forward by his teammate here. There's a quick kill from Sinex shutting down Shui. Trade there by Tao, but now with Tao, orb in hand, ready towards a long. He spots out another member. Sinex falls into a 2-on-2. The flash makes his life easier as he peeks forward. Shuts down Fear as well. It's all onto Ankara. Jump spotting his way forward. Rings out an off shot, but then he's just got no choice but to flee. NaVi Junior, they topple once again. As Izako Boars, Josh, they make it 8.
Now, I know that this is, you can't really take it too literally, because obviously the CTs, they'll normally be the ones that get those entries, and then of course Izako Boars were able to trade it. But at one stage, this was a 5-on-3. After that fantastic first shot there from Ankara, and then the follow-up from Munzi, this was a 5-on-3 situation. Of course, Munzi was instantly traded, but then as soon as that bomb went down, NaVi Junior were pressured for the retake. We had that secondary sniper coming in. Teo was just able to tear them apart. Now 8-2, and the Izako Boars, they're really, really cementing themselves as just the better side here on Dust 2.
That they do. We see aggression once again up from shot. It's not spotted though. Well, it's spotted, but it's not really punished as Munzi. He's then able to get a kill. He'll just back away. No harm, no foul in this case. And as the Izako Boars just get ready for this hit up towards from long, they slowly push their way forward, looking for these first members of NaVi Junior. No one to duel just yet. No one who can really ring true for them. As he smokes go down towards CT, this is Spell on the cross. Players that are slightly to worry about, and as they do look to find this worry, Shui will lead that charge. I think he's spotted out the first man in the smoke, spams down the first player. There's a follow-up kill as well with Shane shutting down Munzi. Shane able to make it 2. Shui able to make it 2 of his own. All onto Sinex, who's just going to back away, run away, and save that orb. For Izako Boars, this will be 9 as they lead 9-2. They look to really make this half look one-sided.
They really do, yeah. Sinex has to fall away and save that orb. Everybody else with that max cash bonus, though, with $2,000 behind them, they will have more than enough money to fully invest into the next. But again and again and again, we're seeing these full investments from NaVi Junior, and they're just not working. The Izako Boars are 9-2 now. This is a bit of a crossroads. NaVi Junior, if they can flip this switch and make it start working, oh my goodness, Shane, that's unreal. Anyway, if they can make this sort of work and come back here, then we could still see a decent half. We could see a 9-6, maybe a 10-5, very recoverable for them. If we continue to see what we're witnessing right now, where the Izako Boars just run away with this, I think we could easily be looking at a 12-3, 13-2 half.
I wouldn't be surprised by it either. I'm actually fully expecting like an 11-4, 12-3 here. As we see, for NaVi Junior, the best buy they can muster up. They get ready with this position towards B. Some nades go down either way. It's a 3-man stack towards B. So they've actually read Izako Boars really well here. Aggression comes forward. Fear ready towards scaffolding. Is he hard cleared? And no, he's not. So he plays for the trigger. Discipline shuts down both members. There's the opening. And I'm disappointed by Izako Boars for not clearing that. It's a fairly common spot. But nonetheless, NaVi Junior, they'll be more than happy that this should lead to their 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, what's important to note, and you mentioned it earlier, and I thought it seemed a little bit harsh at the time, but it's definitely right. The 2 rounds that NaVi Junior have had so far have been off of Izako Boars' mistakes. And once again, I don't want to put this one down to it as well. It was a smart play there from Fear, and yeah, Izako Boars just didn't check the corner. But the Izako Boars surely can't keep making mistakes. They've been fairly consistent throughout this game so far. Fear in a really nice off angle there, though, tucked into the wall. As Stomp's able to swing and trade it, puts him into a 1-on-4. I don't think there's any real chance for him here at clutching, but they've got so much money. It's probably not worth him saving either. Any damage he can do would be impactful. You look at this NaVi Junior money. Any weapon they drop is one that they're not really going to be able to afford to reinvest. With 30 seconds on this clock, he's got some time to try and do some damage as well.
Peeks his way forward, tries to get the initial member. Munzi finishes the job. But NaVi Junior, that's 3. But Josh, is 3 enough? Frankly, no, it's not. If you want a side to at least be winnable, then you need 4 rounds minimum. And right now, we still haven't seen that benchmark get hit by NaVi Junior. As the Izako Boars move into what will be a bit of a comfortable investment. It's not like anything can really scratch their economy, at least in this round. Now that they have invested, actually, they lose this one. They're in a bit of a tough spot, to say the least. But for NaVi Junior, this is one they're going to look to capitalise off with an investment of their own.
Absolutely. Of course, if the Izako Boars can topple this next one, try and negate any chance of NaVi Junior winning any of the next 3, it would be absolutely huge. This would pretty much cement the game for them if they can push this to 11, 12 rounds. As we see Munzi on this corner, this is a ballsy angle to be taking. If anyone just tries to cross here, I think he's going to really struggle to hit that shot. But this is Munzi we're talking about, and he has got some crazy reactions.
You're absolutely right, he does. However, can he outreact flashes? Well, Shane, he's got a few with Munzi's name on it. There he goes to set piece, out goes that U-Cell. With Fear deploying on Molly over from center site, he'll try to help Munzi as best he can. Munzi misses his shot uncharacteristically, to say the least, but as both players being tagged down, Fear hides on ground. Flash is good for one, traded out by Shane. Munzi unable to spot out anyone either, leaves it into a 4-on-4, with no one else able to support them either. Now for Hyper, he'll be playing the lurk play. He knows so well that there could be players towards short. He spots them out. It's so messy though with Sidex and Onkara shut him down. He's up for some aggression with the Eagle. He's got to make up for it. Good for one. Can't quite make it into the 2-on-3. And for Izako Boars, this is where they look to come out on top.
Well, with the man advantage, Sinex makes it to bomb down, but of course Shui has a hell of a job to do to defend it. And as the kill comes in, Poglarov, he's the only man without a kit. He has to get his teammate on it, who I think's on it just in time. My goodness, that's close. Wow. I thought, oh yeah, they've got 2 kits, that's fine. But Poglarov was on it, realized he didn't have a kit, and then started to panic. That was very lucky that his teammate was as close as he was, because that came down to the final seconds.
As you mentioned, dear lord, that was close. However, Izako Boars being able to... NaVi Junior being able to recover is something they're going to be pretty happy about. Need to bear in mind as well that right now they've only played Dust 2 twice in the last 3 months. Both those times they lost, so for NaVi Junior, they are looking to settle a score now. However, in order to do so, they need some success. Boosted up towards short means that we're going to see Tao maybe get boosted up himself to duel this initial member. Instead, they'll deploy that flash. They go for timing. There's that boosted for his own. Spams down Munzi. Can't quite finish the job, but as both players back away with a lowered amount of HP, NaVi Junior, I think they just come out on top here.
Well, with the damage dealt, you'd think so, but with that kill coming through, Stomp trying to cement them this lead. To be honest, this would be really disappointing from the Izako Boars if they just let this slip now. With a 9-2 start, you really are expecting at least 11-4. You kind of, if you split the difference between those final rounds, and if they just allow NaVi Junior to pull it all the way back and go 9-6, then even though technically it's a good half for the Izako Boars, I don't think they're going to be massively happy with it. Munzi, narrowly not connecting that shot. His teammate Fear's there to do so. Shane can trade it, but we continue to trade even a 3-on-3, and the Izako Boars, they need to get this bomb down, but they haven't got any utility left.
That they do, and as we see this util go flying, Onkara, boosted above that smoke. Now slightly to be spammed down, and with that initial man advantage, Izako Boars, they can commit to this plant. It took him a while to get there, however, with the safety of the site to cover him, we're going to see those numbers punched on in. Stop showing down Munzi, puts it all onto Onkara. And he's bear in mind as well, Josh, NaVi Junior, they don't have any money, so they lose this round, which it looks like they are about to. It means that they're going to have to go into the round after with diddly squats bar Munzi, who should be able to buy up relatively comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the thing for NaVi Junior. They've won a couple of rounds in a row, which does mean that their loss bonus has kind of depleted a little bit. But yeah, with Poglarov on loads of money, Munzi on 4K as well, Fear and Sinex on sort of $1,200 and $1,800, $1,850 in fact, means that they've got definitely enough to buy into this next, especially with Onkara saving this AWP. So I'm not sure we'll see another double AWP setup or anything crazy like that. We actually could, but yeah, actually we do. We see another 2 snipers come out, I think.
That's brave.
I could be wrong. It might have just been thrown over to Munzi.
It's 2 snipers.
No, there is 2 snipers. Yeah, Onkara's throwing it on the floor. I thought so. Okay, yeah, so it's a brave buy. But to be fair, actually, it's on the 15th round, and it has been working for them. So let's see if they can pull it off again, make this 10-5. Certainly nothing to brag about, but given the fact it was 9-2, it's rather impressive. And Onkara, that's equally as impressive. Brilliant opening shot there.
And the flash is absolutely perfect. Completely stops the B push. And that B push was actually about to win a position for Izako Boars there. Muzzy shuts down Hyper instead, though. And because of that, we see Izako Boars really stagnate here with nowhere to go. You see a couple of flashes in the hands of Shui to try and make up for this. And while he makes his way forward in mid, he'll attempt to try and find a trade. There's none there. NaVi Junior, they are playing the passive kind of range game, which is exactly what they needed to do a couple of rounds ago. But the fact they found that rhythm now is absolutely perfect. Of course, while he goes down towards the other side of this smoke to try and force Fear forward, it does just that, but he does have the utility to support him in the form of Porgalov. So, Shui now, ready towards mid. Onkara about to aggress into him. He doesn't quite spot out the player on Xbox just yet, though, but he will do any second now if he continues to aggress.
Well, NaVi Junior very much looking like they should be able to make this 5, but look at this trigger discipline from Shui. This is perfect. Finds the first, but the issue is the second man's never still going to be on that corner. He re-peeks it, thinking Pogorov's still just going to be standing right there on the balcony, but that's never going to be the case. Shane now in a 1-on-4, does find himself the first, takes tons of damage from that initial engagement though, and Ankara, just about insult to injury, hits him with an AWP head shot. Really great stuff. And we will see it go 10-5. So not a bad recovery at all here for NaVi Junior. Look at that opening pick. Ankara, he's not even that primary sniper, and he just does them all dirty. This game, hitting some really nice shots.
You're absolutely right. NaVi Junior, they're really finding their momentum now. When, well, for Izako Boars, they had their opportunity to try and stomp this as early on as they can. However, NaVi Junior, they've survived the onslaught of the T side. They moved to a T side of their own, and they look to go on the offensive. And I'll tell you what, Josh, Ankara having a pretty good game so far.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Fear not far behind him as well. He's had a couple of really big rounds. Let's see if that continues now as they've moved over to their attacking half. Maybe NaVi Junior could show us more on their T side. I don't really want to go off of HLTV statistics. They've only played the map twice. They've lost it in both, but we know that these players are young, flary aimers, and yeah, I think with that, there's probably a decent chance that they like those AKs in hand, and they like the versatility of playing on your T side, where you can move about and you can get aggressive and go for those initial picks.
For this pistol round again, everyone just ready for this initial attack towards lower. Izako Boars, the players are actually spotted out. Shane falls to fear. Tao, though, he'll aggress forward. He's even able to shut down the bomb there. He's got a teammate of Tao to assist him, shuts down Ankara. Can the teammate assist? Well, the Cynex pistol in hand allows Shui to shut him down into a 2-on-3 now. And for fear, he's definitely going to try and make up for this, pushing his way forward. Rings out a few shots here or there, but it's not quite enough. Porgalov from behind. It's so messy, but eventually he finishes the job onto Shui, putting us into this 2-on-2. And what's interesting is Stomp, I believe it is, over on Car, just hasn't moved. Despite having the bomb down, despite being in a kind of tightly constrained, at least numbers game, he just hasn't moved from Car. And because of that, NaVi Junior, having retrieved the bomb, are actually going to put a lot of pressure onto Hyper now, who has to try and hold this B-site solo. Ready for the first man, positioned on the angle. Here comes that attack, tries to shut them down, can't quite do so because, well, frankly, how could you expect him to? And for Stomp, that was a really, really bad rotation.
It really was, yeah, and that's kind of the issue. That's what I mean when you're on that CT side. You do need to really coordinate those rotates, and if they're not down to the T, then you just lose this B site, and Dust 2 can be a real cool mistress to you. Stomp running out from heaven. He's not spotted from Car. What the hell is that? That's really disappointing that NaVi Junior have let that one slip away. Stomp, that's a big clutch, but a big mistake there from the T side.
Both sides having quite a weird hold there, I'll be honest with you, Josh. For Izako Boars, that was a really bad rotation by Stomp, but he redeems himself with a 1v2. NaVi Junior on the flip side, the fact they lost the bomb's awful. They recovered it, they get the plant, but then it goes to awful again when they're unable to win the 2-on-1. A really weird performance from either side. However, for Izako Boars, as they move into this full investment, U2 comes out. We do have a couple of fan masses here or there, and then AUG onto Stomp, just to try and ease them forward, just to try and make their lives that bit easier.
Well, A bit of a funky buy from both sides here. Of course, it's round number 17 is where you see the funkiest buy. As NaVi Jr., having got the bomb planted in that last round, do come into this with some rifles. Actually, a couple of AKs. So, yeah, 4 kills found and a bomb plant does give you a fair amount of cash. Think onto Shane early, but kill from Stomp gives Izako Boars the advantage here. And as further damage is dealt, Stomp can fall away. He's happy with this round. He's done his job, and he's still alive to maybe have further impact later. They do need to start stacking up on this A site. He's spotted 3 members cross over to short, and it seems like the defense hasn't moved a muscle.
You're absolutely right. Towers, he pushes his way forward. Let's try and catch out some of these initial members. Smokes go down. He does have his teammate of Shui to bait for him, but instead he plays for the timing. He knows that they're going to be coming straight towards him. Shui, once he gets that initial bit of contact, that should spur Tao for an attack of his own. A few shots around either way, though. He makes his presence known, and he hides with Shui able to find the first kill. Dink down in the process, though, as Tao's able to find another one. He'll look to make it 2. That he does. It's all onto Munzi. Hyper's the one to finish the job on the flank. And for Izako Boars, that was a really, really clean hold against the forced by NaVi Jr. Now NaVi Jr. moved to an eco. I wouldn't mind seeing the odd SMG, but it doesn't matter. Izako Boars, having won the round with pretty much everyone left standing, means that they don't really get the option to play bonus, and instead they just work around these rifles.
Well, Izako Boards, to be honest, off of the back of winning the pistol and off of the back of winning that force, I think they might just be able to take this game over the top. Of course, they're against an eco now. This is going to be 13 for them. Shane even sees the jiggle peek there and spawn and just says, you know what, I don't even want to peek this anymore. So, yeah, this is going to be 13 for them. This is then going to be very, very difficult for NaVi Jr. to come back into. And it's a shame because let's say they lose their next buy round, they're going to lose the game without even having a chance to play their T side. Stomp is just mowing through them right now, but against unarmored pistols, he's not really challenged.
You're absolutely right. The tickle damage, if anything, and he's just happy to. He seems happy to kind of mow away at one of them at a time, and well, as it falls down to the late rotation towards mid of Munzi, he'll fall. The side next to Nonkara, what on earth can they hope to do next? Pushing forward. They do have the AK as well to assist them. It doesn't matter though. Hyper from behind. 2 quick kills. 13 for Izako Boars. Or more importantly for Izako Boars, this is where they look to make it, well, what would be a very one-sided affair as they try to string together a 14th.
Yeah, of course. It's 13-5. There's a big old buy up here. NaVi Jr., they haven't got any money left behind them. They do have a bit of a loss bonus, but if they lose this round, then Izako Boars would almost certainly be able to push themselves onto 15. And yeah, that's kind of game over at that stage. So a lot rides on this buy round for NaVi Jr. Not that winning it guarantees them anything, but it keeps them alive in this map. It gives them that hope, that lifeline that they need. With a minute 30 on this clock, they're playing a lot more passive than we saw in previous rounds. The first 3 of this half so far have consisted of very fast, flary plays here from NaVi Jr. In this one, minute 20 on the clock, they've not really moved a muscle. Now they start to work their way up short. No engagements taken yet. Izako Boars have actually gone for a 3-man stack on B, which is interesting.
That's a really bad read as well. This is really going to play to their detriment here as we get ready for this initial attack. NaVi Jr., as you mentioned, so slow with this take. Out goes that smoke eventually, but the only man who's here to hold is Stomp, and, well, on this angle, he might be able to catch out the odd member with their SAUG. He's going to have a real tough time trying to shut down everyone, and, well, Nonkara, he'll finish that. Quick kill, that's the opening, and more importantly, for NaVi Jr., that should be the whales of this site. It's only a 1-man differential, but the quantity of ground that's about to be covered is insane, and well, for Izako Boars, as they make their way forward, it's Munzi to shut down Tao, and for me at least, that should be the decider. That should be the round, and sure, they might be able to do a bit of damage to the planter. They're not going to be able to kill him. And for Porgalov, he's late on the flank, but at this point, it does not matter. Shui falls to Silex. It's all on Hyper, not that it matters. NaVi Jr. make it 6, but it feels like too little too late, Josh.
Well, it's that lifeline that I talked about. It could be too little too late. They've still got a long way to go to try and pull this all the way back. And they do actually have to face up against another full buy here as well. So they are potentially going to struggle as they now go up against the rifles and those AWPs instead of the kind of little bit of a bonus that Izako Boars had in the last. If they can topple this one, though, then they'll be allowed a freebie in the next, and they'll have a real chance at actually trying to maybe pull this back to some degree. Not necessarily the distance, but that could potentially secure them sort of 9 rounds, and that would be pretty powerful. However, right now, they need to overcome this hurdle, and it's quite a high hurdle.
You're absolutely right. And they tried to do some of the double up setup. I don't know if this is the play, Josh, but we know that Stump's had a relative amount of success with it. Hyper actually going for the AWP as well, so he is picking up Mono's role of kind of secondary AWPer here. And as NaVi Junior again just make their way towards the mid, looks like they are going to slowly push their way forward out from short, meaning that the man they're going to have to duel for this site will be Shuey, but I would rather see one of the AWPs on a bit more of an aggressive angle on short here, to be honest, Josh.
Yeah, me too. With these two snipers, they, to be honest, they need to be careful with them. So having Stomp just holding this angle, I mean, this is like a super dangerous angle to be playing. If they peek, they swing wide, you're really exposed. You're required to hit a very difficult shot where only sort of the top half of their body's showing. Looks like NaVi Junior are going to head out short right now, though. They've thrown those smokes that will give them safe passage, but instead, it's all a fake crema. Seems like they're going for a B split.
It's all some very large, elaborate ruse, and as they push their way forward, they've only got 20 seconds left to do so. So Hyper is playing the blame game, or playing the time game, and with Shane shutting down 2 quick members, just like that, I think NaVi Junior are out of time. Sure, they get the site, but they've got to try and get that bomb, and that ain't happening. For NaVi Junior, unfortunately, that's why he said the bomb is the tunnels, because Shane is able to make it 3, Hyper to trade, Hyper to cement, and with that, Izako Boars, they hit 14 now, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from match point, and subsequently victory in the first map of this series. And for NaVi Junior, this is one that will really send them running with a tear in their eye.
It potentially will, yeah. They come into this, they've got that full buy. If they don't win it, and to be honest, it's a full buy, but it's lacking a little bit here with the utility, especially on Munzie. No helmet on him either. And if it doesn't work for them, then that is map over. They come into the next with pretty much nothing unless they're able to save. And that'll be Izako Boars' ticket to a 16-6. And after what we've seen so far, I really think that Izako Boars should be able to break that flawless record that NaVi Junior are currently rocking on Train. Because I always knew NaVi Junior as a team that historically were good at Dust 2. And they're being absolutely dominated right now. Hyper not proving to be a contingency at all either.
Back when we used to cast kind of tier 3, tier 4 quite a lot, NaVi Junior were one of the household names, and well, frankly, right now they are being schooled by kind of the old guard here. And for Munzie, he'll be scoped in towards mid. He's ready for some aggression, but Izako Boars, they just don't oblige him. Again, just found out around the map. They don't have too much utility. They don't have any aggressive utility. So it's down to aim, and well, with Unkura punishing Shuey, that's an opening to say the least. However, Shane's get the next say in the matter. Shane, he's even continuing to fight. Shane is a madman right now. The fact he's able to take Porgolov with him in this 3-on-3 means that for NaVi Junior, as they push towards this B site, Izako Boars, what on earth can they hope to do with this attack? However, what it means for Hyper is that this really almost weird angle to fight on doesn't work. However, Cynix, he's shut down on the re-aggression, and for Hyper, he knows that there's more men to try and fight here.
Well, with 19 seconds left on this clock, the bomb, it needs to go down on the site, but as soon as it's tapped in, you'd expect Hyper to be able to deny it. Instead, he doesn't go for the peek. He waits for Teo to come in from the tunnels, ensure that they have that pincer, and Teo's able to find himself both headshots. Really, really smart stuff there. I like the fact that Hyper doesn't over-aggress, just finds himself the one and stays alive. His presence is enough to allow Teo to get that backstab in and catch both of the remaining members off guard and off balance. 15-6. With that bomb plant, with the loss bonus, we might see a bit of a buy here from NaVi Junior. We're going to have to, because it's potentially their last round, but I don't think it's going to be a great investment. We certainly won't be seeing an AWP. And this is really their last hurrah, their last chance to stay alive here in Dust 2. Oh, we did actually see an AWP. We do see an AWP, just about. All right.
As the push goes through, Hyper ready for this initial ban. Aggressive towards lower tunnels. He knows they're coming towards him. Can he spot them out? For Fear, it's all down to timing, and Hyper is going aggressive with this AWP. Fear punishes it beautifully, and I'm a bit confused as to what Izako Boars are doing there, to be honest, Josh.
Yeah, this is a bit funky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it could work.
It's bold.
It is bold. I mean, a minute 15 on this clock. If they've done anything, they've done a good job at running this time down. NaVi Junior hoping for some kind of presence in mid, having not spotted anyone on short or doors, it kind of becomes difficult for them. They now have to go for a bit of a gamble on a site, and if they do hit A, there are now 3 members stacked up on there. As the flash comes over, they're not going to see anything. Izako Boars are playing so passive right now that NaVi Junior are expending all of their utility and wasting loads of time clearing out all of these positions just in case someone is aggressive. And when they do finally go for the hit, Shui's going to be there swinging around the smoke to find that first.
Shui is only good for 1 though, and with Fear able to get the next stay in the matter, 40 seconds left now. Stomp has to hold. Stomp has to go huge, and with Stomp ready for this attack, he misses his shots. Fear tries to punish, shifting forward. He won't even push further any further. He knows full well that he's got Munzi to worry about. For Munzi, the nade is beautiful as these players back sights. The smoke should allow them to push forward, and I like how for NaVi Junior they are pushing forward rather than retreating, but is it enough? Over towards short, we are going to see this duel between Progolov and his opponent. And, well, as Progolov shuts down Shane, that should single-handedly leave Izako Boars dead in the water. Stop the last man left standing is left dead in the water. As NaVi Junior, they make it 7 after a hard slog. But I tell you what, Josh, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting them to come all the way back into this, to be honest. This is a comeback where they need 9 in a row. Now 8 in a row just to take us to OT, and my goodness, the damage dealt there by Stomp. That's pretty huge. NaVi Junior, they don't have a huge amount of money behind them, so having to reinvest all of this is going to be rather difficult. Look at these shots. Look at this really no-scope. This is sick from Stomp.
He wants that up, Josh. He wants to hold on to that up, and ain't nothing that no one can do about it. As we see, Izako Boars with 2 warps out, but only an MP9 on Tau. It shows the kind of diversity of this buy, and one that is going to be pretty hard to bolster. With Saphir, fast push over towards short, shut down by Shane, who's even able to get away here. As Onkara holding the other side of this door, he might probably flash forward himself. There's that flash. Can he make his way forward? No, he doesn't even have to. Shane takes the fight, shuts him down. Now into the 5-on-3. Follow-up damage is done to him by the AWP, but the nade doesn't kill him. No, it doesn't. Eventually, Munzi gets the killing blow, but too little, too late. We're going to have to see that already at a man disadvantage. And with Munzi scoped in, shifting forward up from short, little does he know, Izako Boars, they're just playing the sights and waiting their prey to come to them.
Well, with the man advantage here, the Izako Boars might just be able to tip this one over the top. And NaVi Junior, you can see they're terrified of that. As they group up, they head towards short, but they're smoked off. Kremer, that's going to run that clock down even further. And how do they get in here?
As they do just that, I'm perplexed as to how they even get in here. With the only silver lining for them is the Izako Boars, they're running out of util. So as NaVi Junior push their way forward, they could execute pretty much where they want. It looks like we are going to see a hit towards mid and subsequently towards B. But Shui, he'll hear all of it. He knows it's coming, and as he turns the station away from CT, he shuts down the first member. It's messy, but he looks to double up. He does just that. It's all onto Munzi. Good for 1 in this 1 versus 4. Good for 2 with 20 seconds left. Hyper finishes the job. The coach of Izako Boars delivers the killing blow as the Polish side take map 1 of Dust 2, their map pick, 16-7.
Well, solid stuff there from the Izako Boars. As I said, I was expecting them to win Dust 2, and to be honest, off of the back of such a dominant Dust 2 win, I expect them to win Train as well. We're just going to have to wait and see, Kremer, because I'm not sure how strong NaVi Junior really are on Train. Statistically, they seem to be great, but I always remember Izako Boars being